Good morning. Greetings once again from Victoria. My name is Garnet Schulhauser, and I'm a Level 2 QHHT practitioner and the author of 4 books in the spiritual genre: Dancing on a Stamp, Dancing Forever with Spirit, Dance of Heavenly Bliss, and Dance of Eternal Rapture. All of my books deal with my dialogue and subsequent astral travels with my spirit guide, Albert. If you require more information about my books, please visit my website, which is garnetschulhauser.com, and there you'll also find buy links to direct you to the various online bookstores where you can buy the books very easily. There's also further information about my books, such as book excerpts and book videos. You can find this all on my website. And if you have any questions about my books or about QHHT, please send me an email at contact@garnetschulhauser.com. Now, before we get into the serious topic of today, I'd like to relay a funny story I heard recently. It seems that one day a wealthy man was riding in the back of his limousine down a country road. As they drove along, he noticed that there was a man at the side of the road eating grass. So he told his driver to stop, and he got out to investigate. And he said to the man, "Why are you eating grass?" The man says, "We don't have any money for food." The wealthy man says, "Oh well, come along with me then." But the man in the ditch said, "But I have a wife and 6 children." The wealthy man says, "Bring them all along." And so they all piled into the back of his limousine. And once they were settled, the man who was eating grass said, "You are too kind, sir, to take all of us with you." The wealthy man said, "Hey, no problem. The grass in my yard is 2 feet tall." So the topic for today is there life on other planets? The short answer is a very resounding yes. And I got this answer from information I've gleaned from the higher self in various QHHT sessions, and based upon the things I've watched with my own eyes during my astral travels with my spirit guide, Albert. This answer should not be a surprise to anyone, given the fact that there are some 100 million stars in our galaxy, which is the Milky Way, a relatively small galaxy, and there may be somewhere around 200 billion galaxies in the observable universe. With this vastness and number of stars that we can observe, it makes sense that there's probably a lot of planets circling some of the stars that can bear life. It would be basically unthinkable when you think about the size of the universe to think that life exists only on a tiny planet called Earth, circulating a very insignificant star in a very small galaxy. In my QHHT sessions, many clients have been regressed to past lives as life forms on other planets. In one case, the client recalled a life as a green blob with stubby appendages on a relatively barren planet where they had to spend almost 100% of their time scrounging for food and water because the planet was so void of plant life and other things that they could eat. It was a very dismal life indeed. Another client recalled a past life as a creature that could fly, and this creature lived on a planet where virtually all the animals could fly like birds. Another client recalled a past life as a jellyfish-like creature that floated around in a water planet. And still another one recalled a life as an alien humanoid that lived on a spacecraft that was faster than light, and they, having traveled amongst the stars for a long time and visited Earth on many different occasions. Another client recalled a life as a sort of a magical fairy, a little creature that could fly, had a sort of a magic wand, and she spent most of her time trying to preserve the benefit and the welfare of the creatures and plants on her planet in the face of a barbaric humanoid civilization that was advancing on them, seemingly destroying everything in their path. And in another very interesting example One client was regressed back to a life as a very intelligent reptilian creature on a planet where the main citizens, the reptiles, honored and respected their environment, did not harm other creatures, and got most of their energy and sustenance from the energy derived from their star. This race of reptilian creatures were members of the Galactic Council, which is a federation of star-traveling races in our galaxy that get together to try to ensure peace and harmony in our galaxy. And these are just a few examples of some of the past lives my clients have regressed to, where they lived as other life forms on many different kinds of planets. And on my astral travels with my spirit guide Albert, I've encountered many different races on many different planets spread throughout our galaxy. On one planet, I encountered a race of spider-like creatures who were very intelligent. And they spent their time monitoring all the planets in our galaxy to find out which ones were capable of harboring life. And once they found one, they would notify the Galactic Council, who would then arrange for other ETs to seed those planets with life from planets where life was already flourishing. And on another of my astral trips with Albert, I got to visit a spacecraft that was orbiting Earth. It was manned by a race of gray humanoid aliens who were very intelligent. They had been monitoring activities on Earth for centuries, and they were very benevolent. Their only intention was to try to help humans in whatever way they could, most often in very subtle ways, such as sending messages to humans about inventing new technological advances that would make life better on Earth. I also had the opportunity to visit a water planet with Albert, where there was no land masses at all, just water. And I visited a humpback whale and a dolphin underwater on that planet. It turns out that they are cousins to the humpback whales and dolphins on our planet, and they stay in telepathic communication with their cousins on Earth. And the message they gave to me was, our cousins on Earth are really upset at the way humans have been abusing them over the centuries by hunting, killing, trapping, and imprisoning them in aquatic water parks. I also got to visit a couple of human civilizations on other planets. One was a fairly advanced civilization that was a matriarchal society ruled entirely by women. And on another one, it was a very advanced human civilization that had mastered the art of traveling between the stars. But one of the main things about their civilization was they lived in peace and harmony, because their scientists had discovered long ago that most of the toxic emotions that are prevalent in some human civilizations like ours are the result of genetic defects, and that over the years they managed through genetic engineering to remove these toxic emotions from our gene pool, as well as other diseases that could be transmitted through genetics. There is no doubt that life flourishes throughout our galaxy, and likely through all the other galaxies that we can observe from our little standpoint here on planet Earth. And as you may have surmised by now, many of these other life forms on other planets are much more intelligent and more advanced than our technology here on Earth, and they have mastered the art of traveling between the stars, which is something that maybe someday humans will be on Earth will be able to achieve. And all of the UFO sightings that have been reported on our planet over the centuries, and increasingly more so in the last 30 or 40 years, these are really spacecraft of these alien races, these super intelligent races that can travel between the stars. And there's a number of races who circle the Earth and watch what's going on. These are their spacecraft that you see when people say they've seen an unidentified flying object. Someday, no doubt, our human civilization will be able to develop faster than light spacecraft so that we too can journey between the stars and observe other life forms on other planets firsthand. And as Albert has told me many times, he said, do not be fearful of these alien races, because they are so much more technologically advanced than humans that if they had wanted to conquer Earth and kill or enslave humans, they could have done so long ago. But that's not their intention, and we should not fear them in any way. And Albert and the higher self have told me many times that at some point in our future, these alien races will make themselves freely available with open and direct contact with all humans. We live in a very vast and fascinating universe, even though humans are still taking very much baby steps towards the exploration of the cosmos. That's all for now, folks. Enjoy your journey, and remember to keep on dancing.